What's up, guys? Welcome back to the second channel. Today I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about Madden and realism, because this is a topic that comes up wherever Madden is discussed, whether it is in Twitch chats or TikTok comments, or in my case, in YouTube comments. And so my latest video over on my main channel is called How Henry Built the Smartest Offense in Madden History, where I talked about the pro player Henry and the offense he used to win the MCS Ultimate Kickoff Tournament, which won him $50,000. Now, if we scroll down to the comments, the top comment is from Johnny1399, and he says, "It's crazy that Madden strategies mirror real-life strategies in no way, shape, or form. Just shows you how great of a football simulation game Madden really is." And so I want to talk about that. Do Madden strategies mirror real-life strategies in any way, shape, or form? And so I thought there was an interesting reply in here from Alex Hussey. And he said, referring to plays I showed in the video, hitting the seams on 4 verts, which I show right here, or stepping up in the pocket, which I show right here, or throwing behind a receiver on purpose to protect them and the ball. There's plenty of real stuff, which is right there, throwing behind the receiver to protect him and the ball. So by all means, I agree with Alex Hussey that there are cases where Madden strategies can mirror real life strategies. And so for Johnny1399's comment, I disagree with the first half of that comment. However, when he says just shows you how great of a football simulation game Madden really is, I kind of have to agree. Madden is not a simulation game. And a perfect example of that also comes from this video, where I talk about how Henry uses these C routes to beat Jack Oregon's man coverage. And the reality is that there is no good reason that this C route should beat man coverage consistently the way that it does. And I'm not saying in real life that a C route can't beat man coverage, but in real life, it's going to just come down to the skills of the receiver and the defender. Whereas with this particular C route, as I show in my breakdown over on my website, this is a very repeatable, borderline glitchy separation that this receiver will get on this particular C route against man coverage. And that is not realistic. That is not a simulation football game. And I don't really think that there's too many people out there arguing that Madden is a simulation football game, but in case you're still on the fence, another great example comes from a tournament 2 weeks ago. It was the Mudhead Friday Night Football Tournament. This is a $1,000 tournament with a bunch of really good pro players, and the pro player Shakobi was able to use this high ball ag catch glitch and run it over and over and over again against the best pro players in the world to win the tournament and win the $1,000. And this is just one particular play, but he was running this the entire time. The announcers were sitting there just like, what are you supposed to do against this? And the issue, and you may be saying, if you're on the pro Madden realism side, you may be saying, oh, well, throwing a high ball to a taller player, he should win that. The issue is that the defender does not even go up for defending the ball. The issue is that this is repeatable over and over and over again. It's not like in real life where you would throw a jump ball to him and sometimes he'll catch it and sometimes he won't. The issue is that if you know how to do it, you can do this repeatedly, nonstop, over and over and over again. And that is not simulation football. And so the question is, what should EA do about this? And the obvious answer is, oh, well, they should just fix their game and make it more simulation-like. It's just bad coding. And if they just had better coding, we'd have a good simulation football game. And that's where things get a little bit interesting, because plays like this ag catch glitch, didn't really happen a couple years ago. If you see right here, what happens is the receiver and defender have separate animations. It's called single man animations. And back in Madden 21, we didn't have single man animations. Anytime there was a ball in the vicinity of both a receiver and defender, they would get sucked into an animation. They called it 2-man animations, 2-man interactions. And those would sometimes be a catch. They would more often be a knockout. But either way, it was very obvious that both players were at a certain point of time getting sucked into a canned animation, because you would see the same animations over and over again once you played the game enough times. And players didn't like that. Players said, I'm tired of my guys getting sucked into animations. I want each player to operate on his own, just like in real football. And what we got as a response to that is these single man animations, these single man interactions. And ever since EA implemented single man interactions, ag catches have been glitchy as hell. And the reason I'm bringing up these single man animations and two man animations is that we have to face the reality that football is an incredibly tough game to simulate in a video game. And the reason for that is just the nature of the game itself. When I am playing against someone else online, I get to control one player, they get to control one player, and the remaining 20 players on the field all have to be controlled by the AI. And so the reality is that you are not in control of 10 out of the 11 players on your team, just like your opponent is not in control of 10 of the 11 players on his team. And when almost the entire field is covered in AI players that are trying to interact and react with each other based on their coding, there will inevitably always be glitches, exploits, and just certain ways to manipulate the AI, just like in this case with the ag catch glitch. And I think that is something that will never be able to be removed from a football simulation video game. I just think that unless there was a human controlling every single player, and even then, there would still be exploits in the AI, but especially when you're not controlling most of the players, there will always be these exploits. And so the question now is, if there's always going to be glitches and exploits and bugs with the AI in any football simulation game, are we just supposed to accept that? Are we supposed to just give EA a free pass for making a game that is nowhere close to realistic? And the answer to that, of course, is no, especially when it comes to bugs. And so that would be things like the ball phasing through your receiver's hands as you're throwing it to him, or the receiver being incapable of keeping his feet in on an easy sideline catch. Those bugs, in my opinion, are inexcusable. Those are things that we've been reporting to them since the beta, that they've been saying that they're aware of, and that just haven't been fixed yet. And I don't know why they haven't been fixed yet. I don't know what all goes into game development. Personally, those are things that I would have liked to see fixed months ago at the game's launch, but they are still things that need to be fixed to this day. So bugs, absolutely, I'm not saying we should accept those. Where it gets a little trickier are exploits and glitches in the AI. And so in the case of this high ball ag catch glitch, that is something that I absolutely think should be fixed. I don't think it's good for the game when on defense, you really have no good way of countering it. And I just think that for the sake of skill gap in the game, everything should be able to be countered. And so that is an AI exploit that I think should absolutely be fixed. But let's go back and talk about these C routes. Is that something that should be fixed? This, I think, is where maybe I would differ in opinion from some other players. I don't think that C routes consistently beating man coverage every time is bad for the game. And there's countless other little examples like that, where the more you learn and play and study the game, the more you will know. And I think things like that, things like C routes being really strong against man coverage, I think that is one example of where knowledge gap manifests itself in this game, to where if you know the game, you will do better than someone who doesn't know the game as well. And again, I think that in an ideal world, the knowledge gap would purely come from football knowledge, to where if I know football better than you know football, then I'll be able to apply those concepts better and I will have a better chance of winning. But like I said, because of the limitation of 20 AI players on the team at all times, I'm just saying there is no possible way that perfect football knowledge will ever be simulated in a video game. I just do not think it's possible. So the reality is, if we can't ever have a true football simulation, then we have to accept that Madden is something different than a football simulation. We have to accept that Madden is a video game. And when we kind of put that hat on, that I am not playing a football simulation, I am playing a video game that has some elements of real football, then you can kind of take that new approach to where you say, I'm going to just learn the game for what it is. I'm going to accept that C routes will cook my man coverage. And so as part of the chess match, if I see an outside apprentice receiver out there, I have to either give him safety help over the top, put him in an outside third, you do something, just don't play man coverage on him. Do something to counter what you know your opponent might do. That's the chess match of Madden. And so, again, I know people don't like hearing that it's not a simulation. We all want Madden to be a simulation game, but the reality is that it's not, and I don't think it ever will be. And so if we can kind of change the way we view Madden, if we can go into Madden accepting this is not simulation football, this is a video game, and I'm going to play it as such, then we can kind of appreciate the chess match of Madden a little bit more. And that's what I tried to show in this game, breaking down Henry's offense. And I guess in the case of Johnny1399, it was not what he wanted to see, because he, like many others, would prefer that Madden strategies would mirror real life strategies. And again, to be fair, as our guy Alex Hussey said, there were plenty of examples in the video where Madden strategies could draw from real life. But at the end of the day, guys, there's a lot in this game that is not realistic, that is not simulation. And so I just truly think that in order to be able to enjoy Madden, you have to accept it's not simulation. And if you only want to play a simulation game, and the fact that Madden's not simulation means you don't want to play it, that is perfectly fine. But if you don't want to play Madden, then to be honest, I'm not quite sure why you're watching my channel, because my channel is all about Madden and trying to help you guys get better at Madden. That is my #1 goal. And as much as possible, I'm going to showcase examples where Madden draws from real life. Like I've said, I think that this video about Henry's offense had a lot of that. But at the end of the day, there will also be breakdowns of people whose offenses are based around exploiting the game. If the next pro player runs an offense that is just high ball ag catch glitching, I can't ignore that. I'm going to have to at least talk about it, because that is the strategy that is the best way at that point in time to win Madden games. And that is my #1 goal, is to help you guys win more games. But Madden versus realism is a really interesting topic. And in the comments below, I would love to hear what you guys think. Let me know if I am just way off base on this, or if you think that Madden could be simulation one day. No matter what it is, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. And if there's good discussion down there, maybe I'll make a follow-up video. But that's all I got for you guys in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.